throughout this next year. We're going to have an awesome time and do many great things, and we'll also rely on your continued trust and love to make this possible. So thank you. I also want to recognize all those officers who have made such great contributions this past year and really built the framework for what we will continue to accomplish this coming year. Dr. Morales mentioned vision and how important it is that we always have something to look forward to, that we're never complacent in what we do, and I want the outgoing officers to know that we are here to continue your vision and to add on to it to make Utah State University a better place. I also want to make sure that our administration and advisors are recognized. As I look in the back, I see Eric Olson. I'm going to embarrass him for just a second because my little brother reminded me of this story when Josh, my youngest brother, we were at an open house down in Salt Lake, and as an ambassador we go and we help recruit high school students, and Josh was, I don't know, 9 years old at the time. He was talking to Eric, and Eric, he told him, "Oh, you can go get some Aggie ice cream." So Josh had gone, and he loved the Aggie Blue Moon. So he came back and told him about the experience, and he said, "Well, did you try the chocolate?" So Josh went back and tried the chocolate. I think he tried like all 4 flavors. And when he came back, he told my mom, he said, "Mom, I'm dropping out of elementary school, and I'm going to be an Aggie." And so I think it's just a really cute story to highlight how great of an institution we have, and how even elementary school students want to come here and beat Utah State. Josh, I promise there will still be Aggie ice cream when you get here. I also want to highlight my another brother, Matt. He doesn't know I'm going to do this, but he just ran for student body officer of his middle school, and he gave a speech that I was very impressed by. And so as I was thinking about what to say tonight, I thought, well, why write something new when you could just give the speech of a 9th grader? I think his words are very relevant, and I think that they have a lot of application to our campus. And so I want you to pay attention as I read these words and think about inclusion and the theme that we have this next year. So these are the words of Matthew. He says, "Oftentimes with a speech like this one, you hear about all the things that people think they can do to change the school. But what we really need is a leader that can help us change ourselves. Instead of making promises we can't fulfill, such as recess, nap time, better lunches, chocolate milk in the drinking fountains, Fridays off, or no homework, we should instead focus on changing ourselves for the better. Our society, including our school, is getting more and more diverse every year, and that's a good thing. The question is, do we believe it's a good thing? Or do we still look at differences as a reason not to like somebody, or to not talk to someone, or to not include somebody? All because we feel inferior, because we feel different, or because those differences somehow make us think that we're better. The truth is, everyone matters. Not some more than others, but everyone to the same degree as anyone else. That is something we must, as a community, work on. Nobody's perfect. Yet, it's way too easy for us to judge, to assume, to criticize, to mock, to bully, all of which is evidence that we need to improve, not everyone else. That alone will make our school a much more welcoming place where everyone can feel safe and included. If we could learn to appreciate people for who they are, then we really will truly have left this school with an education that will benefit us and everybody else for the rest of our lives. Thank you, Matthew. That's a 9th grader that's going to change West Jordan Middle School. So I thought that was beautiful. I listened to that speech and I thought, it may seem silly to, when I told you I was going to share that speech, but I think it's very relevant. And in fact, Dr. Morales reminded me to put chocolate milk drinking fountains in the new TSC. So with that, I would like to introduce the theme for this coming year. It can be simplified into 2 words, and it's that everyone belongs. At Utah State University, we're an institution that represents all different backgrounds. I believe we have 83 different countries on this campus, and that can be seen here in the International Lounge with the different flags that represent countries from around the world. But it's not just our skin color or ethnicity that represents diversity. It's our religion, it's our major, it's our way of thinking, it's our age. There is so much that goes into the differences that we have, and all of these bring us together as Aggies. I think Ashley Waddups and Carly Thornhill have done an amazing job showing us this past semester with the USU United campaign, and showing us that no matter where you come from, we all are brought together by this institution. And it's the example that we set that really helps spread this idea. One story that I heard once, and I've never forgotten, is the example of Gandhi. And the way it was told to me was that there was a mother who was trying to tell her son to stop eating sugar. And she traveled a long way across India to find this great leader, Gandhi, because she thought, well, my son doesn't listen to me, but maybe he will be able to get through to him. So they make this great journey, and they find Gandhi, and the mom says to this leader, "Can you please tell my son to stop eating sugar? It is unhealthy for him." So Gandhi listens to the mom, he looks at the son, and then back at the mom and says, "Please come back in 2 weeks, and I will be ready to tell him." And so the mom looks kind of confused, but she does as she's told, and she returns on this long journey back home. 2 weeks later, she's back again with the journey to talk to Gandhi, and she says, "My son is still eating sugar. Can you please tell him this is not healthy?" And Gandhi crouches down about eye level with this boy. I imagine it's Josh with his ice cream. He's looking right into this boy's eyes, and he said, "Son, please do not eat sugar. It's not healthy for you." And the mom's looking kind of perplexed because she just waited 2 weeks and made all these journeys for such a simple statement. And she looks at Gandhi and said, "Why couldn't you have told this to him 2 weeks ago?" And he said, "It's because 2 weeks ago I was still eating sugar." And I think this story really highlights the importance of being a good example. That as leaders, we must practice what we preach. We must be the change we wish to see in the world, because it does our school no good to make promises we cannot fulfill. There have been many amazing promises made this year, and I can promise you that every single officer sitting behind me has an amazing potential. I've gotten to know each one of them on a personal level, and I can promise you that our school is headed in the right direction, under the direction of our administration and leadership. I see a lot of potential for good, to continue what's been done with mental health, to continue what's been done to advocate against sexual assault, and to introduce this theme of inclusivity to make sure that everyone feels like they have a place here in the Aggie family. To conclude, I want to echo the words of Jim Collins. He wrote a book called Built to Last. And in this book, he talks about creating a visionary company, not visionary leaders. He said sometimes we put a lot of faith in one leader, but what we must recognize is leaders come and go. Our time is very short. We have a year to do all that we can, but a year from tonight, there will be new officers sitting behind us. What we must put faith in is Utah State University. We must focus on this institution and not on ourselves. I think Ashley did a good job recognizing that it's not about us. It's about the student body and those that we serve. These people believed in us. These people voted for us, and that's why we're here today. And so now it's our responsibility to make sure that they are served and their needs are taken care of. I love this school. I love college, and I think that we're going to have an awesome experience this coming year. So let's go Aggies.